back to the Joe Jaguar City Astronomy show. Now, I want to show you guys this scope. Now, before I start, so I do have a members section now, which is only 99 cents. So the two videos that I did do in Mexico, they are only on the members forum. So for you guys that have been on my channel a long time, or for you guys, if you want to see those videos, go on to the members part. And again, I made it only 99 cents, so it's very cheap a month, which is very cheap. But don't worry, I still got a lot of videos for you guys. In fact, right now, I'm at 190 plus videos. So there's hundreds of videos for you guys to see. But I do want to show you guys this. Maybe quickly talk about what happened down in Mexico and what is my next planned thinking going forward. Okay, so as you guys know, I brought, let's start with the tripod. The tripod, I showed it to you guys. It's one with slow motion controls. Even though it doesn't have the thumb screw, it worked well. This whole tripod and mount type of thing, this type of azimuth mount, weighs, I already showed it to you guys before I left, 5 pounds totally. Is a solid? No. But I'm just looking at deep sky objects, and usually when you're dark sites, deep sky objects, there's most of this stuff are like going to be wide field of view, low power anyway. I'm not looking at little fine intricate detail, so it actually worked fine. I have actually no complaints with it as far as the size, stability, everything worked well. Now the scope, as you guys know, you guys tell me. The first time I went to Mexico, I brought an 80 millimeter f5. I brought this guy here, so it's an 80 millimeter f5 on an AZ3. Now, as you can see, it's actually almost the same. They're about the same length until this guy opens. But this one probably collects 300–400% more light. Anyway, this performed very well. There is only one problem with this type of thing on this tripod, is even if I try to put it between the leg, it can only go about there. So, you know, it can't go 90 degrees north, so which means anything on the zenith part, I couldn't, or you can't see. One way to fix that is maybe put a Vixen rail that goes all the way from the top to the bottom. Then maybe you can shift it up and then it can tilt at higher angles. But usually, you're not always going to be on the zenith part anyway. But it would be good if it can do that. Now, as far as this, it actually performed very well. As you guys saw, I did a dew cap and a shroud for it. And it also became the one padding, and then I also double padding with that foam blue rubber thing, and it worked really well. I got there, everything was fine, nothing broken, nothing mismatched, even coming back. Even when checking, I didn't even collimate it. It'd be somewhat collimated to get some decent views, but in the eyepiece it looked, donut looked pretty good. When I was looking at focus, like at the stars and star clusters, they were all like pinpoint, so I found no need to even collimate it. If they looked all blurry and mushy, then I probably would have, but I guess either maybe due to luck or partly the way I padded it so well that minor bumps or anything was not a big deal. Now, there was a little concern that what if it totally got destroyed, like the mirror, and shattered. I guess that was a chance I was willing to take, but I guess the way I padded it, nothing happened. But then again, this guy's not so expensive anyway. Now, what do I want to do next? Going to Mexico, because we're planning on going another few times this year. I might be crazy, but you guys tell me if you guys have ever brought anything like a 6-inch. Did you bring something smaller like I used to do, like a lot of people do, small refractors, or have you guys done anything this big or even bigger? That's my thinking now. So being in it was the first one that we went to on that timeshare, that was a green zone or a border zone 4. It was not bad, but the winds were really strong. I'm not going to say like a tornado strong, but strong enough that it knocked this scope right down. and you really can't view with that type of winds. Now, if you guys want to see those videos, again, those videos are going to be on the members forum. But anyway, the second place where we were there for a week, the winds were 75% less, maybe 80% less, a lot less. I didn't really have a problem with the winds. I was near the ocean. There was no problem with the dew control because that area is extremely dry. Cabo San Lucas is almost like Arizona, Texas, and that type of thing. It's more deserty, lots of cacti, whatever you want to call it. So it's more dry desert type. So even being by the ocean, it was very dry. I never had a problem with dew at all. Even though I made the dew shield about 10 inches longer, I didn't need it. Or maybe I did and it worked and I didn't know it would have dewed up if I had nothing. Anyway, so it performed very well. Now, am I a little bit crazy? I'm thinking now to go a little bit bigger. Now, the second place we were at for the week, it was a border zone 5 or a yellow zone. So not the greatest, not the best. But, you know, it worked. It was okay. A 6-inch in a yellow zone is so-so. We saw a lot of deep sky stuff. They weren't super bright in the eyepiece, but it was okay. It's better than a white zone, but it could be better. Now, normally, if you get to a green zone or border zone 4 is where I think the deep sky objects become really good. And then it depends on your size too, of course. But that's where I consider the deep sky objects to be decent, very good in the eyepiece. So my thinking is, you know, should I go to an 8-inch telescope? The problem is, can I fit it in the luggage? So we're going to see what I think, what I come up with. But whatever I do come up with, I think has to be on this tripod. Just because this tripod's 5 pounds total. Again, I'm not looking for anything solid. An 8-inch is going to be bigger, heavier, and you know, if I get something too big and too heavy, I'm going to need a bigger tripod and mount, and then the whole luggage is going to be just that. So unfortunately, I got to try to keep, you know, my weight down, type of thing. So I have to kind of see what I want to do. Is this the perfect size? And just getting to a green zone, zone 3, if that would be better with the 6-inch, and then that's all I need. Just stay with this guy, just get to slightly darker skies, then a 5, go to a 4 or 3 zone, and then this size will perform even better. Because as you guys know, or maybe for you guys that don't know, the sky conditions is always the #1 thing. The darker you go is always better than getting bigger and bigger telescope, right? So that is always #1. Now the question is, when you go on vacation, a lot of the hotels are in the hot spots, the cities, the towns. So finding a hotel in a rural zone is harder because sometimes there's compromises. You might have to drive another couple hours to the hotel if it's not by the tourist zones. Or, you know, it's just a lot of more complications. Or maybe it's not by the ocean, the beach where you want to be. Anyway, so I have to kind of see, do I stick with this guy and just try to get slightly darker skies next time? Or do I go to an 8-inch, and then even if I still am at a zone 5, zone 4, or that type of thing, the 8-inch is just going to collect another 50% more light gathering power, punch a little bit through more. And even if I do get to slightly darker skies, then that even performs, I'll see those things even better. But I have to kind of weigh everything. Will that fit in a suitcase again? Will it not? Am I putting just too much? Because just this guy alone took about 70% of that whole suitcase. I was only able to fit some clothing and stuff. Remember too, you also have the weight factor. You can we're only allowed 27 kilograms in that case. So we still need everything else that we need to take. So I have to kind of weigh it out. I have to think about it. I'll let you guys know what I come up with and what are some ideas, or maybe you guys have ideas for me. What size do you bring? What do you normally look at? Are you looking at the deep sky stuff? And Oh, for you guys that don't know, I saw one object that I was never able to see ever in my life, and that was Omega Centauri. It's a globular cluster. It's supposed to be the biggest globular cluster in the sky. It's actually, I would say, about 3 times brighter and bigger than the northern skies. We call it the Hercules cluster. So, but it was not so perfectly bright, like I couldn't resolve everything. Now, I only use a 32 millimeter eyepiece on this, so 750 millimeter divided by 32 was only 22 power, and I only went up to, I brought a 9.7 super palazzo, giving me up to 77 power. Now, maybe if I went to 100 power, 150 power, I'm not trying to go like looking at the planets, so what was I after? But however, maybe if I go a little bit more between 120 or 150 power, I could have blown up Alpha Centauri or Omega Centauri closer, and then I could have seen it better. But and also too, currently, as you guys know or don't know, I'm at 43 north latitude, and there I was at 22. So basically, I'm able to see about 21 to 22 degrees further south than I could from this location. So basically, I was able to see Omega Centauri first time. Now, mind you, it was only about 20 degrees above the horizon, 15 to 20 degrees. I didn't really measure it, above the ocean. So you're going through a lot of atmosphere. So that's also another reason why it wasn't super bright or clear. Imagine if I was another like 30 degrees south, it would have been blazing in the eyepiece. Now again, maybe if I would have put more power or brought more eyepieces to get more power, I could have blown it up and it would have been decent. But I still saw it fairly well, and first time I've seen that, so it was great. Next time I really would like to see the large and small Magellan clouds, but I think I got to be at least another 20 degrees more south to see those. Anyway, guys, I had a good time with this guy. Wanted to share with you guys on the regular channel. I already posted a few on that channel of the trip on the members, but I wanted to at least give the rest of you guys that are not on the members channel yet my findings and what I liked about it. And again, you guys tell me, what do you guys normally bring on a plane that goes, not carry-on, like on the baggage handling? How big do you go? And what do you bring? Anyway, Joe Jaguar, like, comment, and subscribe. If you know anybody that wants to get into astronomy, show them my channel. If you're on the forums and maybe somebody is going to talk about something like this, what would be the perfect airplane travel telescope? You can share the link with them. Why not you? Why not me?